Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match on the Neuroxis map generator. Let's go ahead and introduce our players for this map. Let's make all these little things go away. There we go. Let's start in here on the west side of the map with Team 1. Starting in the northwest corner of the map, we have Arctic 4 Polar in orange going first land as a UEF. Down here south of him, we have Purifier also going first land in pink as a Cybran. Continue on southward, at least and southeastward, we have C2118 Freedom as well going Cybran in dark gray going first land. In Rust, we have Devil's Touch going first land as a Seraphim. Again, Seraphim, Rust going first land. Down here we have Johnny Jr. going first land as well as a Seraphim, again in navy blue. And last but not least, for Team 1, we have Prixion going first land as a Seraphim in green. Let's go ahead and introduce Team 2, starting on the bottom side of the map. South side we have Surrey going first land as a UEF in royal purple. I think he might go second air, that would be my guess. Next to him, we have Moresco going first land in red as an Aeon. Already on the move, we have MSG going first land. Yep, first land in teal as a Cybran. Further north, we have Love Me Some Rice going first land, second air, third land in crimson as a Cybran. North of them, we have ADZ 3000. Going first land, second land in purple, and last but not least, for Team 2 on the east side of the map, we have Brittle in blue going first land as a UEF, again in this northeastern slot. So that is the players for both teams. On Team 1, we have 1 UEF, 1, 2, 3 Aeon, and 2 Seraphim, so they're missing the Aeon tech in their tool belts. On the east side for Team 2, we have 2 Aeon, 2 Cybrans, and 2 Aeons. So they are missing the Seraphim tech in their toolbox. So not every race represented for either team. That will make a difference in, again, the types of units and structures they can build in the early and late games as well. We have an upgrade that's paused going on for MSG as a gun speed and range for those Cybran comms. And it is paused. Just to let everybody know, this match isn't as long as the last one that I did, but it is at least over an hour. Obviously, you've most likely seen the time stamp on the video. So again, get your popcorn, get your drinks, get all your nice little snacks, because this is going to be fun to watch. And we have the Crimson Comm of Love Me Some Rice is getting a gun speed and range upgrade going down. Look at that little effect going on. I love the spinning effect. I think the developers had a really good idea with this kind of spinning. It makes it fun. It makes it very very noticeable on the battlefield. We have another gun speed and range. The Cybrans going for those gun upgrades early on. We have the comm of Arctic helping out his comrade of Purifier, getting that upgrade that'll definitely help secure this northern side. And again, in true fashion, there is still some water on this map, so it's not fully it's not a fully land map. I am again partial to navy in this game. I like air, I like land, but I'm kind of partial to navy. We had a gun range upgrade gone down for the Aeon comm of Moresco. That Aeon sniper comm getting teched and upgraded up quite nicely. We have some early land units out from the gray player of Freedom, pushing this front line here against his opponent. We also have a couple units out here from Arctic as well, looking to kind of group up and again form a center line right about here. This little engineer is going to meet a fate worse than death. He's going to be turned into some mass and then most likely be scooped up later on. We do have the comm of Brittle on the front line here without hardly any supporting units. He's going to have to fall back. We have the comm of MSG and the comm of ADZ in the middle here, and they are pushing Team 1's front line. If Love Me Some Rice gets his upgrade done pretty quickly, he'll probably join them as well. And there'll be 3 comms in the middle of this, like, Stonehenge-looking place where there's a bunch of mountains surrounding a central point. Mountains, hills, whatever the heck they're called. The units we saw out from the north side have pulled southward and are helping to shove those probing units out from ADZ backward. And again, there are 2 comms here, so that is definitely going to force Freedom back. He won't be able to sustain this position for very long. Freedom is done with that upgrade. We also have 2 comms for Team 2. Pretty much every comm on Team 2 is almost in the middle of the map or even further, which is there's a lot of aggression going out for Team 2. It's good to see that early aggression, get the land, get those mass points, get the reclaim, which, I mean, there really isn't really reclaim on this map, to be fair. I think there's more reclaim obviously added from dead units than there are natural reclaim. With comm of Crixion outmatched, he's a 2v1 here in this southern section of the map. We have the comm of MSG. He is forward very far. You can see making his way to the main base of Team 1. Looks like the main base of the Rust player of Devil's Touch. He is on an upgrade currently. A T1 bomber comes overhead, hits him in the face a little bit, but mainly goes after those engineers. Gets a decent amount of engineers. Comes in the back line, takes out another section of engineers. I mean, that's a lot of build power just evaporated. Nano upgrade going down for Arctic, making sure he gets that region up and running sooner rather than later. And then gun speed and range almost completed for the Cybercom. Taking some initial fire, but it's not going to last very long. Decides to go for stealth, cancels it, and goes, nah, I'll get it later. Again, MSG very far forward. It is only 7 minutes, so strat bombers are not on the cards as of right now. But it's kind of scary for him. He is the highest rated player for Team 2, so losing him early on would definitely be a blow to Team 2's APM and just overall effectiveness in battle. Doesn't mean that all the other allies can't compensate, but again, you're losing the highest rated player. That is definitely a blow to your team. Again, the ratings for everyone, they're between 1,000 and 1,800. 1,800 being the comm of Freedom, and 1,000 being tied with Brittle and Pure Fire. Gun damage and range going down for Suri, and again T2 going down for Crixion. So we do have the comm of Marexo moving forward, trying to do some early damage. Looks like probably going after those mantises. And a thing if you didn't know, mantises can assist in construction efforts, or in this case upgrading efforts. They have an ability. They have the tier 1. They do have an engineering suite on their chassis. An advantage of having mantises. We have that stealth upgrade that was canceled earlier, now being prioritized and getting up pretty quickly for Freedom, looking to kind of dissuade some early intel gathering. T2 on the cards, almost completed for Brittle, over halfway done, and the comm of Arctic pushing forward against him, getting in range, takes out that engineer assisting, but this comm of Brittle is going to finish, and I don't know if this really is going to matter a whole lot. There are his forces out here to the north, but with that T2 upgrade, he's going to have enough hit points to pretty much dissuade a lot of this force, and again, they're just going to fall back. Nano repair going down for Freedom. He's just getting all the upgrades today. Nano repair, stealth, gun, just getting that nice and offensive capabilities online. We have the 2 comms here in the south with Team 2 pushing on the comm of Crixion. We have a T1 bomber overhead dealing some damage and kills to this T1 force. We do have a couple shields out. Very good to see that. So provide some temporary hit points for these 2 comms here in the south. We have the comm of Love Me Some Rice, again pushed all the way forward, just similar to MSG, and these 2 are definitely going to be a powerhouse here in the middle. We do have that upgraded comm of C2118 Freedom moving out, trying to deal a lot of kills to this band of roaming forces over here for Adriz. Or ADZ, not Adriz. There's not an RI in that name. I wish there was a way to set the color of the names for teams, because it's really hard to see. Like, even for me, it's really hard to read the purple. It's just that gray background makes it hard to read. And even especially probably for you watching, it's even hard to read. So I do apologize. That's definitely not a choice that I can change. If there's a way to change it, I would be all ears to that. We have the forces in calm out from Freedom, looking to try to cut off any retreat to MSG. MSG taking some hits. He does have a gun upgrade, so he's not completely defenseless, and we do have the calm of Lumbly Samurais. A lot of Aeon fire going down between these teams. 3 Aeon comms, Cybern comms right here. Apologies. And then the calm of Devil's Touch moving in to help support. We have the death of Brittle up here in the north. I do apologize for missing it. It looked like it was pretty close, but Arctic did pull it out for his team, making this a 6v5 in favor of Team 1. Love Me Some Rice is being focused down by Freedom and Devil's Touch. It looks like Love Me Some Rice might be in a bad situation. Let's go ahead and move all the little icons. We get a nice little cinematic shot, and boom! There goes the calm of Love Me Some Rice, making this now a 6v4 in favor of Team 1. And the calm of MSG is being just walked down. MSG decides, oh, I'm going to probably die. I'm just going to sit here and try to deal as much damage as I can. Devil's Touch being used as a wall against any attacks against the Cybern Calm of Freedom. And that is another kill for Team 1, making this now a 6v3 in favor of Team 1. But about a matter of like maybe 2 minutes, if that, 3 comms are dead. Calm of Trixion going down into the red, trying to make it into the water. Doesn't look like he's going to make it in time. Dropping below 500, 300, 200. Oh, makes it into the water. Oh, and that shot does get him, bringing it to a 5v3 in favor of Team 1. So Team 2 getting some revenge for their fallen teammates. 4 players have died within the span of, I'd say, like I said, about 2 or so minutes. Looks like there is, again, conversation going on in chat from some teammates that have died from Love Me Some Rice, suggesting some strategies to implement. We do have the calm of Purifier pushed all the way from the front line to the main base of Brittle. We do have Team 1 bombers overhead. These shimmers. Almost said skimmers. That's pretty close. Looks like he's trying to go for a land factory. We do have some Team 1 PD over here looking to kind of dissuade all of this mantises. It's mantises. And Arctic for Polar coming in to support as well. The Team 1 starting to lose lots and lots of economy, lots and lots of infrastructure on this northern side. We do have a comm of ADZ creating sort of a temporary fire base here in the north, trying to prevent any more reinforcements to resupply these comms in the north region, or going down for Devil's Ore, looking to rep up some hit points for nearby units. We do have the 2 comms of Suri and Maresco taking out all the infrastructure that was once Crixion. So again, kind of a very a mirrored thing going on. We have 2 comms up here for Team 1 against the infrastructure of Team 2. We have 2 comms out here from Team 2 destroying the infrastructure of Team 1. So pretty much not one team getting a full advantage or huge advantage in the game, where you can see that Team 2's eco is just barely out ecoing Team 1's there, and generated in total reclaim and what massacre. Wow, I cannot speak today. I do apologize. About 20k mass, not a whole lot, especially we're at almost the 15-minute mark, so that's not very outrageous to think of a mass difference. But again, more mass you got, more units, more structures you can throw at the enemy. So again, this is going to be a longer game. You're thinking, how can a match that was 6v3s, 5v3 last another hour or so? Well, let me tell you, it gets interesting and pretty good pretty quickly. A lot of things go down. Don't send comm is what MSG is sending, telling Shuri to just back up and not engage. There is shields as well as T2 PD on the line. There's T1 PD going down as well. They're almost hoping that Team 2 will attack and lose another comm, but we have 2 comms in the vicinity with 1 in the back line on its way, on his way to the front line over here. They're using the base of a Johnny Jr. as, again, the front line here in the western side of the map. Team 1, I mean, operating, I mean, I wouldn't say like 30%, but I'd say like 40%. Team 2 owns the middle. There is a strat bomber overhead for Team 2 out from Surrey. Looks like he's going for the resourcing options of Freedom, the highest rated player, reducing his mass capabilities. No, going in further deep, going after that mass extractor that was on an upgrade, and it almost finishes and goes down. That is 2 T2 mass extractors that go down, and that strat bomber will go... No, it stays in bounds. So Team 1 will be able to go and claim that mass. It has to sink to the bottom, and then it will be available to claim. We have forward operating facilities on the northern side of the map for Arctic and for Purifier. We're going to scoop up this reclaim as well as secure that position for production and economy. Looks like, again, more and more advice being given out from the players out from Team 2, the dead players, trying to help their fellow compatriots win. Because, again, even if you die and everyone else dies, just like one player on your team dies and they win, you win, and you increase in rank. So, it's a team game. But at the end of the day, it's not just about you surviving to the end of the match and winning. It's having the team win. We have some missiles being launched from this forward missile battery. They split. Looks like there was some TMD in the area. That mass extractor almost goes down. Mass extractor, which I guess the mass was destroyed as well. That's where that other one was going. This is what it looks like. Looks like they take out one mass extractor, almost taking out another. Would not be surprised to see some strat bombers come down and take that forward position out. Looks like there's a huge effort from Team 2 to force these 2 players, Arctic and Purifier, off of this position. That so rightfully should be theirs, to be fair. And Team 1 has pretty much done the same for their opponents here in the southwest section of the map. You were at full HP. Oh, talking about you should have engaged, probably. Again, I love that camera feature, being able to communicate a lot more effectively. Comm of 80s does have that shield upgrade, allowing for more hit points to be available to them. A huge wave of Team 1 and T3 and some T2 in there as well, some rhinos. We have some bricks being forced onto the comm of Arctic. He and his compatriot probably should get into the water pretty soon. They're going to be overwhelmed. Purifier is on an upgrade. He probably will stay to finish it, considering he's at 90%. That may cost him. Arctic is getting stuck on some geometry on that structure. As you can see, Team 1 is being surrounded. Team 2 sent their forces all the way to the back, where they knew what they would retreat to allow more time to deal more damage to these comms. Looks like Arctic for Polar is starting to lose a lot of hit points, dropping down into the yellow. They drop him. Oh, gets a crucial rank in vet there. Reps up a decent amount of hit points. He's overcharging into that brick. Doesn't have a lot of E storage available to him, but he drops into the red. Looking to probably kill that brick. He is a 5-star vet. Calm. Oh, he does get under the water just in time. Sub 1,500 hit points. Purifier does the same thing. He's also a 4-vet calm. And these both are going to survive for another day and outrun those forces. Definitely a blow to Team 2. They could have at least got one of those 2 comms killed, but I mean, it does force them off that position. So and there's a mass extractor for Arctic just hanging out there. Looks like MSG and both Love Me Some Rice advising putting TMD down. excuse me. Looks like there is a GC on the cards for Moresco. Oh, yep, right there in the middle of the base. Under shield coverage, like to see it protecting those engineers. There's a shield upgrade going down from Moresco as well. But looks like the 2118 Freedom is going to just hang out with him. Just in the water, just kind of little buddies. Oh, and he's going to actually reclaim all of the engineers. Oh, that's definitely disheartening. Going to get some mass for his efforts. Not a whole lot of mass, again, but, you know, something's better than nothing. You can try to build that torpedo launcher. That's not going to finish in time. Unfortunate for Moresco. He does get that shield upgrade finish, though, so something better than nothing. There is a potential run by on the cards by these Titans, but the forces out from Moresco do notice it and move in to intercept. I would probably send these Titans out for this T2 mechs to get some economic damage down, or even go for this naval factory here to the south as well. They do, again, have those rapid fire cannons on those chassis, so they're able to do a decent amount of damage taking out those Reynolds. There are a couple harbs in the back line, though. If these Titans don't move, they will be slaughtered pretty quickly. They do take that mechs out and decide to just go after the harbs. There's Rhinos in the mix. No, Rhinos. Blaze is in the mix as well. Two of the Titans go down. One of the harbs lives to fight on. They take out another one of those Titans. Only one is left standing. There is a torpedo bomber. I don't know why. I mean, probably being built up for those comms, what I would assume. Looks like the comm of Arctic for Polar tried to move out of the water and went, oh, there's an enemy force there. Probably should not do that. And looks like he is going to die for his mistake. Looking to take out as many enemy forces with him as possible. Takes out decent size T1. Those bricks do taking some damage as well, but he goes down, making this game a 4v3 still in favor of Team 1. This is very disappointing for Team 2. There was that Titan was able to get another mass extractor kill. I have no idea why it was alive for that long, but well, things happen and not really a lot in your control sometimes. You're distracted by other things. Again, 22-minute mark. Made it to this point in the video. Thank you so much for continuing to watch. I do appreciate all of the time and attention you guys give to my videos. Please like the video if you have. Comment down below about who is going to win at the 22-minute mark. Again, it is a 4v3 in favor of Team 1. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I greatly appreciate all of the support. I'm pretty close to 200 as of right now. So again, I've just loved all the support and the rapid growth. Johnny Jr. runs into a Galactic Colossus and goes, that doesn't feel good, and dies for his mistake. Beautiful explosion out from this area from comms. And now tying the game up to a 3v3. And again, love me some Rice advising his teammate, specifically Moresco, to pull back. Moresco is the lowest player on Team 2 and being somewhat coached by one of the higher rated players on his team. Looks like, again, scouting as well as something in Russian. That Galactic Colossus just going to carve a path into Team 1's base. Wouldn't be surprised to see some PD spammed up here quick. All those vacuum cannons, as I call them, just sucking up all of those T1 units. Instantly killing them. We have some gunships out from the comm of Devil's Touch, looking to deal lots and lots of damage and going to start evaporating those hit points. They are bolt-throughs. They're not super strong. Would like to see some anti-air supporting, which they are in the background, these Redeemers. I'd like to see them, again, a little closer, but something is better than nothing. So you got to, pick your battles. Taking out all of the PD in those walls. If you don't know, those walls for Team 1 help prevent a lot of the damage to the PD, but in later tech, especially with a unit that tall, those walls aren't going to do anything. Would, again, like to see those Redeemers pushed up even further. And I understand they're getting that stomp damage done. That is something that the Colossus can do. Would have liked to see that land factory crushed to death, though, for Team 2. But again, a lot of the damage was done. Come back with these Harbs and take out the rest of them as well. Again, pushing. Probably should have stayed back and taken out the rest of the base from Freedom, because all these PD kill. And that's pretty much a mass dump. Not a lot of economic damage. Not a lot of lasting damage here for that Colossus. Yeah, and even Love Me Surmise making the comment, what an absolute waste. Those units out from Moresco just being brutalized by those Volthus. Let's check it back. Look at the north side here. I was going to say Ecos, but I noticed something else. We have a Monkey Lord versus a Monkey Lord here in the north with some bricks. In terms of unit comp, looks like Team 2 is going to win, at least on paper, if they can get these positions. And the Monkey Lord doesn't run away from the... Oh, actually run away from the other Monkey Lord. We're already going to see these gunships, which is probably what he was afraid of. Push forward, forcing back the battle line of Team 2. And more anti-air. I get it. T3 are expensive, but again, those T3 anti-air units are very, very important, especially in the mid to late game with all of these air units roaming around. It is a 12 by 12 map, roughly 12 or 13 by 13. And now it says 20 by 20, but obviously it does not spill the 20 by 20 section, so it's not super big. It's also not super small in terms of map size. We have some more T3 units out, some of these demolishers pushing the front line of Team 2, forcing them back, getting more damage in terms of units and economy. Looks like Team 1 advising their teammates to get some Omnis, allowing them to see more and more units all the time. Gunships being used to take out all of these mass extractors, and this buildup of torpedo bombers that really didn't do anything. Maybe they were built up to take out the comms, but they didn't really do anything. MSG making comments to his teammates that, why are you rushing mexes? You're about to lose them. Yeah, to be fair, they are going to, especially with this force on its way. And of course, these gunships taking out T3 PGens, taking out air factories, taking out all the infrastructure in the back line. Sam's starting to be spammed up. Are there anything spicy on the cars? No. Another Galactic Colossus under construction here from Moresco. There is a crab under construction, a megalith. Looks like Johnny Jr. making comments about how he's at 1300 again. I don't know if he's saying he's going to win or he's going to lose, but he is at 1200 as of right now. Oh, they commenting that the Galactic Colossus is AFK, just kind of roaming around. Again, would like to see some ASF support here in the southern section, air, like anti-air anything, but there are hardly any ASFs built up for Team 2. There were a lot of them were killed, to be fair. See what happened. Johnny's like, you need that Omni there. You gotta get that Omni. And again, this is the second Galactic Colossus that is going to go down to pretty much Volthu gunships. These Volthus proving very effective for Devil's Touch, and they are cheaper again than their T3 counterparts. So just constantly producing more and more of these gunships. There are 20 of them as of right now. Focusing on the anti-air being spammed up for Moresco as well. Good to see that, but there's only like 4 or 5 units. I mean, they can take out a couple of those gunships, but more stuff counters less stuff. But it doesn't help if the gunships don't move and all of this flak just sits here. But there are more gunships in tow. They're probably going to prioritize the anti-air, which they don't. And that's definitely going to be their downfall. Again, these Volthus are not super strong against this anti-air, and they're going to fall to the ground, quite literally. Comms in the water for a couple, actually all of the players on Team 2, making sure they don't get spotted by those roaming bands of spy planes. Air scouts over top to get a nice idea. Let's 1k WAP. This feels like 1100 you through. Oh, complaining to his teammate, throwing some salt. It's always nice to have some salt on your very flavorful cast dish. It's like, this is dumb. It's like this just keeps happening. I think he just keeps getting annoyed that that keeps happening. There's a megalith to help defend the south side. Again, not all in vain there. We have some harbingers escorted by one slowly sniper bot. You would think that the harbingers would be escorting the sniper bot, but the sniper bot is escorting the harbingers this time. Again, that Galactic Colossus pretty much forming a defensive line here in the southern section between the water and this little hillside. We do have a megalith and a monkey lord with some T3 support. We have a monkey lord kind of just roaming around the middle section over here, kind of making his rounds. And more efforts to spam up T3 tech units. Take a look at ecos really quick. Another of those Galactic Colossuses does finish as well. And something else. Did that just say twice? That was weird. Oh, control was transferred over to Morisco. That's why. We have two of these Galactic Colossus. One of them badly wounded, primaring down that monkey lord. It's got a nice view of that. Fortunately, one of those Galactic Colossus does go down. And as you noticed, all those Volthu Gumshes are just going to just evaporate all those hit points. That monkey lord does go down, however, but that megalith is starting to back up, trying to avoid the laser face of that Galactic Colossus. The Galactic Colossus, oh, sorry about that, does not keep moving and does fall. The megalith was at about 60% hit points, but more and more gunships come on the scene to help support, and they're going to take care of the rest of those forces out from Moresco. The ASFs are way too late. They are just way too late, and they're going to fly in, take out some gunships, and then just immediately die to all of that ASF power from Team 1, which pretty much gives air control to Team 1 as well. So not a very good play out from the 1400 player of Surrey. And not a whole lot going on this northern section. We have a Galactic Colossus under construction, mass points being rebuilt. Johnny saying you should take back all of those mass points. That's 6 mass points right there that aren't being used by Team 1. Decent amount of mass, especially you get those up to T3. That's a lot of mass. I think is it 27? Let's see, what's yeah, 27 fully ringed mass point T3 mass points, times that by 6. That's 150 plus 12, 162 mass. That's a lot of mass per second that you're losing out. Mass donations, yeah, lots of mass. Look at all that mass here. You have, 470,000 mass plus a couple additional, thousands and almost 10,000 there, 6,000 here. So I mean, there's a lot of mass on the field to gather up and shove into other things. Two monkey lords. Again, the comm of ADZ pointing to his teammates that there are 2 monkey lords here in this northern section of the map. Johnny Jr. saying, just build the experimental bomber. Build it. Why not? Just build the Seraphim experimental bomber. He's just screaming it at the top of his lungs with all this mass. Because you could build it, at least one of them, with all that mass. You could build at least 2 of them, if I remember correctly. Purifier builds an experimental, most likely a monkey lord. So it'll be the 3rd one on this northern section of the map. And kind of a lull period. We can check back on ecos very quick. They're pretty much tied in terms of generated eco. Team 1 starting to pull ahead a little bit. They are pulling ahead in the mass totals. They're about 30,000 reclaim mass collected. Again, start collecting all this mass in the middle. That's definitely going to change very quickly. But unfortunately for Team 2, who's trying to get that mass, Team 1 has a megalith and a bunch more engineers than they do. So they're just going to try to claim as much as they can, and that'll be it. Let's lose to a nuke right now. Yeah, if there's a nuke on Team 2, which, I mean, there could be. There's a missile defense. There's a GC. There's a Fat Boy under construction. Power. Air grid. I don't see a nuke anywhere. I don't know what Johnny's talking about. Yeah, Johnny is just... There is so much salt coming from the player of Johnny Jr. He's telling them to nuke the air grid. Prevent... pretty much lock out air for a while for Team 2. So RAS does complete for Surefire. Another experimental built on the northern side of the map by ADZ. Looks like it is another Galactic Colossus. Looks like there are 2 Monkey Lords and a couple supporting units. These Percivals. They're chasing down the comm of ADZ. At least they look like it. And then they say, no, we're good. We're going to emerge from the water and go use our big laser faces to their advantage. Them pointing out that he notices there's a Seraphim bomber being constructed. Those washers. Again, those Monkey Lords starting to do economic damage. There is a Galactic Colossus you can see in the distance and a Megalith that has just completed in the background. So again, the water being used to hide the movements of units to help get a tactical advantage. Always a good move, especially if the opponent does not have sonar. And those Monkey Lords are going to meet that that Galactic Colossus head on. That laser face starting to shed the hit points off the lead Monkey Lord. Looks like the Monkey Lord's targets are going to be probably the air grid, those pigeons. We have some Hards coming into support. Takes out the first Monkey Lord. We have some Percys in the back line, but one of them gets sucked up. There it goes into the ground. And that Monkey Lord goes, nah, this is probably a bad idea. If you have a Galactic Colossus, you have to make sure it keeps walking. There is a band of bricks and other supporting units out for Surefire as well. Sorry for the jarring camera angle. I'm trying to move over very quickly. But this brick wall is definitely moving into him in the forces of Team 2. And love me some rice saying, don't give free mass. Your flag can wipe all those guys out. Those are rover drones. Wait, are those rover drones? No, I thought those were rover drones. We have, again, 2 Galactic Colossus versus 2 Megaliths and a Monkey Lord. This is not going to go the way. Oh, there is a Monkey Lord in the rear as well. This is probably going to go Team 1's way. Those Megaliths can outrange the Galactic Colossus. And they're going to focus down the Monkey Lord first. Pretty much both of them going down at the same time. The laser does target the first Megalith. As long as these Megaliths keep walking back, they are going to be able to take out both of these. There actually is a third one on the way as well. We're definitely going to go the way of Team 1. Maybe that Galactic Colossus will get it. There is an Oswasher shadow coming overhead. They're going to drop the reinforcing units in the back line. Takes out a decent amount of them. That Galactic Colossus is going to go down without taking out another Megalith. Oswasher makes another turn. Let's pull up the little info here in the corners. We have ASFs moving into position to help shield that bomber, using it pretty much as bait at this point. There's a lot of T3 units here, but they're going to be being outranged and outdamaged by these Megalith Team 1 artillery, and especially with that experimental bomber lobbing its plasma on the ground. I love the little bomb, the little like snake design it gives. It's a very cool design. I definitely like it. It's the Seraphim destruction, like the nukes, the bombs, are very pretty. They're light blue. They're very showy. The comm, well, that's not a comm. That never mind. That's a SACU, the greatest mass donation of the year. Yeah, that's a lot of mass. That's over 50,000 mass right there. Drops a bomb there for, I don't know why. 1K mass, a 1,000 ranked mass donation. It's GG. Moresco throwing in the towel. But again, the match does last for another like 40 minutes, so everything can change in 10 minutes, let alone 5 minutes, or even 40 minutes. Why the 1K carry lose the game for y'all? Again, Johnny just constantly throwing shade. Johnny's dead, to be fair. And I get it. Your team has the advantage in terms of map control, experimentals, at this point mass, and generated mass. Like you're leading all of the metrics pretty much, but you don't need to be throwing shade every couple seconds just because you're winning. And Shuri messaging Moresco directly. Stop donating mass. Focus. I would focus again. You have 3 experimentals. One of them decently damaged and the one barely damaged. 1 full health. You're going to need anything and all defenses on this front line here. We can go down and take out the little icons. You can see them towering over, moving into position. There is a Galactic Colossus under construction, as well as that Omni that just finished. We also have a Colossus on defense. You can see the experimental bomber in the distance, moving over to possibly bomb the rest of Team 2's bases. You can see it coming into view. Galactic Colossus is signaled to move. It does move forward against the advice of players on Team 2. NGC back to base through Watt. Yeah, he's just going to stand there. Laser. There is a Fat Boy as well as a allied Megalith in tow. So Team 2 is not completely defenseless in the southern side. T2 artillery being spammed up as quick as it can. It does take out one of the Megaliths. We'll have to back out just for a second. There's an air fight going down over a couple of these SAMs. Looks like Team 2 gets better of the turns. Their Team 1's not out of the air game quite yet. Swasher over top goes in for the bomb. It's going to impact the shields, and the crash damage is going to do nothing. Takes out a couple shields and some hives. That's about it. Again, we have that Megalith and that Fat Boy in for support. Megalith is focusing down Megalith. These bouncers and cougars just kind of hanging out in the mix. There is a couple whalers in there as well. Again, focus all of your fire on the weakest one and then move targets. All of these units working together. There's another Seraphim experimental bomber underway. Johnny complaining about why they nerfed the crash damage, because it was kind of OP, to be fair. Bomb does go down, impacts the shields. Takes out one of those shields, but doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Looks like the Asswasher is going to hover off screen for a second. I think it might die off screen depending on the turns. Nope, it comes back into view. It releases its bomb, which it probably will do more damage. Lands almost in the exact same spot. And actually takes out a decent amount of the mass for that old wreck as well. Still, 20,000 reclaim is a decent amount, but yeah, let me summarize saying that update is old. There was a nuke launched out from this Stone Ager, a very promptu name, I would declare. I don't know why I said that. It just came out of my mouth. No idea. Wasted nuke, question mark. It is going towards... Is there any SMD in the clip or even built? There is none, unfortunately, that I can see as of right now. This nuke is going to land. Oh, and it does get shot down by an SMD. Where was it? It was right... No, that's not it. There's a... Oh, there's one right here. It just loaded. That was... very close. That would have been a huge economic loss for Team 1. Team 1 also pushing in the north with 3 megaliths with some T3 support in tow, going after a SACU out from the comm of ADZ. It is a Rambo preset, so lots of fire capabilities. What do we have here? We have 2 Colossus, one of them badly damaged, mind you, on the northern side of the map. It looks like they got spotted by somebody, most likely Build Artie or Nuke. There's Johnny. Nah, spam T1 bombers. Yeah, spam all the T1 bombers and that will win the game for you, MSG. That's definitely the way to do it. The ASF from Team 1 hovering overhead. They notice the GCs, and look how deep that water goes. It's pretty far considering there's hardly any water on this map. There is a megalith and so one lonely Percy moving into position, but this is just funny to me, just watching these Colossus just hide underneath the water, being like, "Hey guys, just walking around, not doing a whole lot. You don't see anything. You don't see me. No one sees me." Yeah, and there's pings going down, telling them to come out of the water and start attacking, put on all the icons. and the little tags. Reposition the camera. There we go. Those GCs emerge from the water and start to inflict damage onto Team 1's base. Megalith does come into play there as well. All of the Megalith are pulled back. I don't know if that's the best move on the planet. They're not going to get there in time to really prevent a lot of damage. Again, they are slow. I mean, like, pretty much all the T3 land, the T4 experimentals are slow. They're designed that way. And focus more of the economy down. The Rascoms, that's a good idea. Again, you don't kill any though. Take out P-Gens, take out, you know, anything and everything you can. That mass fabricator would be good as well. 5 mass extractors do go down. Again, Johnny making a comment of Mass Haven down here in the south. Looks like there was another Heaven. Not Haven. No, it could be a Haven. They do focus down a P-Gen. Take out one of them. Fortunately, pretty much this Megalith is going to body block it, and these hives aren't going to start reclaiming that GC, dealing lots of damage from that, as well as spamming up these T2PD, these Cerberus. And that GC is going to go down. I wouldn't say it was really worth it. I heard a bomber go off. That's why I went over. There's another washer. Never pronounced that right. Taking out decent size of the air grid. That Colossus is going to go into the water. It doesn't have any capabilities in the water, so MSG saying possibly the worst decision. Could have stayed, dealt more economic damage. All of those Megaliths are now back in the base. At least distracting them from the front line would have been good. Except Team 2 didn't capitalize that and push forward. That would have been the play, using those GCs as distraction and bait while you push the front lines. That's Air from Bomber doing more and more things. There was another nuke out from that Stone Ager from Team 2. And now the spam begins. A bunch of Team 1 factories spamming out those Medusa. Those Zooies, just all Team 1 artillery that they can. There's again another, 1, 2, 3, 4 Megaliths in the base for Team 1. This nuke is most likely going to get shot down. No, it didn't. Oh, is it going to be another one of those, like, does it load in time? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to load in time. That's very disappointing. Ooh, that second nuke does land and take out a decent amount of eco, pretty much eliminating all of the work that those GCs did. Well, not eliminating, but nullifying, because the nuke would have done the same thing anyway. There's another nuke out. And now I should go over, take out a huge another section of the infrastructure. It's going to go down, land, going to miss the Stone Ager and land on some mass extractors, only taking out the mass storage and some NGs. Tick for tack, I suppose. I thought it was tit for tat, but tomato. Nuke out from Team 1, going to do some economic damage, getting 3 mass extractors, and doesn't get that P-Gen though. The MSG saying walk on him from those Colossus. They can do stomping damage, as you saw earlier in the match. And we're at the 46-minute mark. If you've been enjoying the cast so far, please like and comment down below what your favorite moment's been so far. Again, one player has died since the last time I made that comment. Has your prediction changed? Has it stayed the same? Let me know down in the comments. And as well, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I greatly appreciate all of the love and support everyone's been giving me. It motivates me more to keep moving forward, keep making the cast better and better each and every time. So again, thank you so much. And with your help, that progress goes by faster as well, because I only have one set of eyes, and you all have a lot more than that collectively. So you're able to see more, hear more, and comment more about what I should do to improve. And again, your suggestions on what casts to make, what games to do, I am working on. There's a Phantom cast I'm trying to find that would be good for y'all, as well as doing maybe some bar as well, because I know at least 1 or 2 people have commented on me doing a bar cast. Not super familiar with bar, but I have watched some casts in the past from bar, and it's another one of these real-time strategy games that are simulated rounds and artillery and all of that. So I will definitely look into getting a cast on the channel here, probably If not, by the end of this week, hopefully next week I'll have one on the channel for y'all. Anyway, back to this cast specifically, we have 1, 2, 3 megaliths with one in the back line, pushing on these Rambo presets and the front line on the northern side for Team 2. We have again the comm of ADZ in the corner here, kind of just hanging out. Lots of protection on that comm. 25,000 hit points from shield, and again 15,000 from the main actual health pool. So 40,000 hit points for him. We have artillery raining down from the heavens. We have 1, 2 installations, a third one on the cards. We have GCs being used as pretty much mobile point defense. Again, would have liked to see more and more actual PD. There is a bank of artillery, which is good to see. However, you need actual PD. You need close range PD. Ravagers, Cerberus, Triads, literally anything and everything you can just throw on the front line. You want to dissuade Team 1 from just spamming out artillery. Change up the game. Make them do other things. We do have this roaming band of Harbingers, though, getting into the back line, taking out a lot of economy, a lot of infrastructure, going after these factories, reducing the amount of incoming spam. They took out a decent section of it down here. Team 1 is obviously occupied, or specifically I should say Freedom's occupied by other things. Torpedo underway for Purifier. Don't know what he's going to do with that. That Galactic Colossus is still over there, and now it's being chased by that megalith and a bunch of bricks that actually should just be on the front line, to be fair. They'd be more beneficial on the front line. Those Rambo comms still being effective. There's a Galactic Colossus that's almost dead, going back into the water for repping up those hit points. Again, you have these 3 megaliths inbound. We have another nuke that's number 4, 3 from Team 2, if my math is correct. How is this still not reclaimed? There is 20,000 mass sitting here, and you're not Team 2, what are you doing? Nuclear point defense being used. Let's see how much damage it gets done onto these megaliths. More than half health down, or that one did have a 3 vet, so more than half health down for all 3 of these. Those long-range cannons moving in. Galactic Colossus coming in to support. A bunch of those artillery opening up. There's another nuke out, the number 5, 5th one of the game. Well, I can't count today. One of those goes down. We have another one being lasered in the face, trying to avoid that mushroom cloud. We have Percy's being used. Harbingers patrolling the western side. That Colossus does go down. Bricks being used. Just anything and all the tools of the toolbox they have being thrown at the enemy. And again, Ping's going down to take out the SMD. That does go down. It did have a missile in the clip. That must be very disappointing. But again, would have liked to see maybe these megaliths come in and take out the artillery. They were definitely almost in range. You can see the range on the cannon. That red ring is the main cannon fire range. They could have easily taken out that artillery, but looks like they were focusing on other things. Another Fat Boy has been completed, so that's the second one. A third one under construction. Very useful for taking out Team 1 units, especially when they just keep coming and coming and coming and don't stop. Starting to slow down production a little bit. Looks like they're going to focus on other things. Again, that nuke launcher would be probably a good idea to spam up. There's more megaliths being spammed up. The air grid back for Team 1's airplay of Devil's Touch, taking some hits, but more and more shields coming online to help dissuade those incoming shells. That Galactic Colossus being assaulted by a bunch of bricks. If you didn't know this, T3 units, specifically the assault bots, have I wouldn't say special ability, but they have like an added bonus or benefit. They are torpedo defense, so they're able to fire these torpedoes out against these Galactic Colossus there. And not a lot of damage, but better than no damage in this case. And that Galactic Colossus has pretty much been muted. It's going to try to come on land, but again, that megalith's going to prevent any and all major infrastructure damage. Maybe it'll get another P-Gen, but again, 2 P-Gens is not really worth it for Colossus. The mass alone is definitely not worth it. Harbs being overwhelmed by artillery, as well as, of course, that megalith. Again, if you had PD online, which you're just doing more and more SAMs, which isn't bad, but you should have PD, artillery, I say artillery back here, and then SAMs. It could be like a layer of PD, and shields, of course. But PD, SAMs, and artillery, because you want the PD on the front lines, the artillery to shoot when it gets close enough, and obviously the SAMs to take out incoming air units. And the thing with SAMs is you don't want just one layer or line of SAMs. You want multiple lines to prevent, especially if there's a large push of bombers or gunships. You just want multiple layers, so as more units come into the firing areas of those SAMs, more and more damage can be done quicker and faster. MSG saying getting the eye, allowing some nice radar to be gathered, some intel, just prime location. And I do like the communications for Team 1 and Team 2. Talking to, I mean, again, Team 1, Johnny's kind of being a little salty, a little more than he probably needs to be. But again, communication is better than no communication, I guess, in most cases. Get a soothsayer maybe, just again, trying to help out Team 2. I would say as of this point, Love Me Some Rice isn't the MVP, but he's definitely like the guy in the chair, like with all those monitors being like, dude, you gotta like move stuff here and that, and you gotta build this. Like, he's definitely the best support Team 2's had for this game. Team 2 pretty much turtling up here in this southeastern corner of the map, operating, and they have the east side, but that's probably going to fall here pretty soon. They're prioritizing defenses. I mean, to be fair, you have artillery, you have like pretty much 3 of them now online, you have 4 fat boys, SAMs, a nuke, SMD. Pooling your resources all together in this pot right here allows for multiple layers of coverage for shields, for SAMs. It does make it hard that if you don't have nukes, for example, and you run out of anti-nukes, nukes can just wipe you out. Especially if there's a Maver in combination with that. That's very non-helpful. But these whalers definitely get caught out napping and are taken out by those ASFs out from Freedom. Looks like maybe Devil's Touch gave those ASFs to him, most likely. Because I don't see enough air grids to really support that. So, and that nuke just being primary focus of Freedom, obviously, is, and the spam. And as you can see, they're just having move orders to just go straight there. Again, those megaliths and T1 artillery being used to mop up the rest of the resourcing options and infrastructure. For the comm of ADZ. Again, those Rambos are still alive. They take out one of them, and the AoE explosion takes out the megalith. That's a very good, I'd say, trade for that. A Rambo for a megalith. Just scoop up the mass, and that'd be a better trade. Again, just more. Look at all this mass over here on the field. They have 52,000 up here. They finally get the mass from that bomber. Yes, they did. Okay, I was going to say. More mass up here in the corner, probably from that. Yep, from that going at the Colossus. Teleporter underway, and it's on pause, but for Freedom as well as Gun Splash for Devil's Touch. Maybe he's going for a teleport play to take out maybe artillery, nuke defense, someone to help out his team. Intel operations being used to kind of gather an idea of what's going on. And as you can see, we'll just speed this up just a little bit, just due to the fact that there's not a whole... It's just a survival match at this point of how long can Team 2 hold out. And as of right now, indefinitely, unless Team 1 changes their plans. Again, I speeded it up just a little bit. Don't want to miss any juicy action. More Rambo comms trying to prevent more and more aggression out from Team 1. Comm of ADZ out here in the northeast corner. He does have a couple sonars, and 1 sonar and a torpedo launcher, which not really that great. Looks like the shields do go down around that nuke. Team 1's got to have that nuke protected. Oh, shields pop back online. The artillery was not really focusing it. Looks like they're targeting resourcing options and infrastructure more than offensive capabilities. These fat boys do get caught napping, and it looks like they're going to be able to take out a a megalith before fat boy gets taken out. But looks like that megalith might have that fat boy in its sights. Looks like it's just barely out of range. Oh, there's no vision on it. That's not helpful as well. Kind of need vision on that megalith. Bunch of T3 bricks up here. That bricks we saw all the way back here finally moved to the front lines. can see how effective they are. That megalith finally going down. There's another megalith here on the west side of this approach. Does catch this fat boy a little, you know, a little farther away from home than it probably should have been. The guns aren't prioritizing the fat boy. That's not a good idea. You got to prioritize that fat boy with that megalith. What are you doing? Okay, the guns go back. Nope, there they go. Fat boys are going to go down. Just a matter of how many of them will go down. Just this one's like pretty much. Oh, there it goes. It's out of its firing arc, but turns and they take it out. The fat boys live to fight another day. That's insane. At least one of them should have died in that exchange, but that is definitely a disappointment for Team 1. Again, all these bricks being used, they should just go full speed into that shield enclosure for that T3 artillery. Again, just to point out, there is no friendly fire to your own units, but there's friendly fire to your allied units. So as you can see, if these artillery rounds do impact the shield and take out some of that energy reserve for that shield, a nuke does launch from that same Stone Ager. A counter nuke gets launched out from Team 1. So pretty much one nuke for both players. The SMD is still loaded, unfortunately. Should have waited a couple minutes for that artillery to take out that SMD. And it looks like those bricks do take out some of those shields. That artillery is exposed. Okay, Team 1, you gotta... Okay, they're prioritizing the SMD. It's not that bad. Again, you could have taken out the artillery too. They take out the SMD, but not the artillery. And that's definitely a loss for Team 1. That nuke was probably trying to come in and land after the SMD was taken out, but definitely a loss in terms of strategy-wise for Team 1. But they do have the nuke still under a lot of shield protection. And they just have map control. Like, they own, I'd say, 75% of the map at this point. Besides, of course, the comm of ADZ at the top. Teleporter still underway for Freedom, as well as for Devil's Touch. Looks like he's getting some assistance on that upgrade. Johnny commenting down in chat that no one's scouting. You got to be fair, that is a good point. Everyone's got to be scouting at all times. Don't wait till the SMD is dead. Wow. You know, don't have to be that mean with it, dude. Come on. That's like, you're really salty that you died, pretty much. We do have intel operations happening for Team 2. Getting a nice, good view of what's going on. You can see all the nice things. They do notice there's something going on. They do notice that the comm of Freedom is going telemaser. Old. How old is SMD? That's pretty fairly old. All of these notes going down. Probably should move some of those. Love me some Ricing, getting some TMD. Yeah, that's pretty much the only defense besides, again, more PD. There's some, but not enough. If Team 1 had just focused all of their... Look at them. Look at all these factories. There's... How many? There's 68 UEF factories. Plus an additional 29. So what is that? 97. And then you have 10. So let's just call it 110 factories produce. Oh, no, even more. Wrong player. Oh, what the heck? That's not what I wanted. No, that's what I can. Yeah, so over 100 T1 factories. They still haven't cracked the base. I shouldn't say the main base. The base of Team 2. There are a couple megaliths in tow. A Colossus comes to defend Team 2. Is this going to be enough to crack this base and win it for Team 1? It's a little doubtful. There is a huge bank of artillery raining down on these megaliths. Looks like the Colossus is going to survive at least the first death of that megalith. Control K for Devil's Touch is incorrect. Tries to go for a tele-snipe onto those artillery and dies to all that PD. That Galactic Colossus does go down. The first megalith is about to go down to all of that incoming fire. More and more defenses are being chipped away for Team 2. So if anything, Team 1's just gaining a little bit of ground every single time it makes an attack. And unfortunately for Team 1, they didn't move that megalith in further. Could have gone after that nuke. There's only one shield, but not a lot of shields protecting it, and it goes down. Just look at all this incoming spam. Look at it. Just so many units coming in. Got 150 over there. You got 300 over there. Got an additional 50. It's just like 500 T1 artillery just moving in. And a lot of those SAMs have now been whittled down and gone. So there's just a little bit of SAM over here. A little bit of SAM. Some SAMs over here on this northwestern side. These Fat Boys coming in clutch for Team 2. Pretty much that's their PD are these Fat Boys. I hear explosions going down. Looks like some RASCOMs. Again, now it's a 3v2 in favor of Team 2. The first time in the game where the number of comms left has now favored Team 2. It's always been tied or Team 1. More and more NGs spamming up Cerberus. Again, more and more protections need to go down for them. You can see the noose is slowly starting to enclose around their necks. We have a couple Monkey Lords going down in the south performing a similar move that the Colossus did. We have the Calm of Freedom. I mean, I guess he canceled his teleporter upgrade. Oh, wait. It only shows he has the laser. It doesn't show he has... He's almost done with something. No, gotta check up on that. How they stuck up here. Oh, those Monkey Lords coming in onto the mainland. A lot of PD going down. That first Monkey Lord is going to go down. Does take out some of those P-gens. That's a mass dump for Team 2 right now. Another one starts to be primate. That's not going to get a whole lot of work done. More and more shield coverage. More and more Fat Boys. Those Fat Boys are trying to push northward. Unfortunately, that is leaving a gap in defenses for that southern side. We're trying to help Love Me Rise with his mid push. Like they're talking about what happened early in the game. What happened with that? Again, those Fat Boys pretty much causing a area of denial zone over here on this eastern side. Probably should have split up. Two of them had 2 for support on the south, 2 for support for the north, and just keep them in place. Don't move them around because you can have a Megalith or a Monkey Lord or something come in and just evaporate those hit points and kill those Fat Boys. They're expensive, and especially at this stage when you need anything and everything you can get to throw at the enemy, or at least to hold the position to throw at the enemy. There's another Megalith that's done for Purifier. We have 2 more Monkey Lords here in the south. Again, that teleporter, that laser, excuse me, underway for the Calm of Freedom. These Monkey Lords coming in from the backline. The Calm of Moresco is down here in the southeast pond, as well as Surrey. He's a little further north, though. I would not send the Galactic Colossus out. I would position them and tell them to hold position. That way they just defend anything that comes in their range and just kind of just start lining it up, kind of like gargoyles or something. Just prevent anything from coming in. Looks like Let Me Summarize says spam torp launchers because there are those 2 Monkey Lords. They do have torpedoes. I guess they're more of those missiles because you see them when they're on land as well. It's the same kind of thing. They are being used. They do have torps specifically as well. Taking out those SAMs in the back line. Galactic Colossus moves in to help support, but again, they're underwater and they can't really do a whole lot. He's going to look to try to intercept them as they move on the water. Again, a lot of that Team 1 force out from Team 1 started to be denied a lot by these Fat Boys. They probably were trying to look at taking out the T1 factories, but again, now they've left a hole on this western side of the Team 1 units have gotten further and further in, pretty much starting to take out the PD being spammed up. We have TMD, but that's going to fall here pretty soon if those not Lobos, what are they, Medusa get in further. Monkey Lord's trying to do their darndest to avoid all of that incoming Galactic Colossus. It's just Team 2, I mean, they build artillery, which is good. Team 1 hasn't even done that. A lot of the infrastructure's been taken out. But because of the widespreadness of whatever's left now, it's really hard to deal some meaningful damage. You can see Team 1 is at 1.6k mass income versus only 200 and about 50 mass. I mean, that's a lot of mass to be down. They're down 1.2, almost 1.2 million mass. Those monkey lords do make it onto land. The first one does go down. The second one is opening its laser, trying to target one of the fat boys, and that one goes down. Again, this is on 1 speed just because I know there are parts that are slow, there are parts that are more interesting. There are 2 more monkey lords in tow in this little pond section on the south side, looking to get a nice little avenue of attack. They'll probably go, if I were to go, I'd actually just go straight in, take out the nuke launcher, and then go from there, because I feel like once the nuke launcher's dead, Team 2 is pretty much dead in the water. The artillery's nice, but the shield strength on everything left is a lot. And looks like ADZ is killed by these ambusher, these harms. I do apologize for missing it. A lot of the action was down here, and he was pretty much out of the game anyways. So it is now a 2v2 in terms of comms. It is now all tied up, leaving just Suri and Moresco on Team 2 and Purefire and Freedom for Team 1. Again, it's the 1 minute, almost 1 hour, 10-minute mark. Were you correct in your prediction on how this game would turn out? Were you wrong? Or did you get it right in the very beginning of the game? Please let me know down in the comments. I love responding to you guys' comments and that feeling of community, that feeling of just people enjoying my videos in general. It just motivates me to keep, again, making more and more of these casts, trying to get them better. Gonna just do everything I can to provide the best content to everyone who watches the cast and the other content on my channel, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. We have the Galactic Colossus moving forward, eyeing that megalith. That megalith again has a better range on that Colossus. Colossus does move in. Artillery starts to rain down on top of that megalith. And with the assistance of these monkey lords, it is going to be a KO for this. There's 3 of them now for these megaliths, focusing down their face lasers, or not. I guess that's a face laser, eye laser. This is more of like a top turret laser. But as you can see, these fat boys are in full retreat now with the pressure out from these T2 units, these rhinos. Very rarely do you see the secondary guns on these fat boys fire. They only really fire when there's close by units. But, you know, desperate times calls for desperate measures. All of these experimentals go into the water. They could easily just rush this and win just right now. Just send them in. Even if a couple of them die, you're going to kill the nuke. You kill a lot of the defenses. You'll kill the shield as well. ADZ making a comment about killing this spam of artillery installation. They built artillery on the front lines, and just the fire raining from these megaliths. Fat boys are preventing these megaliths and monkey lords from making any progress. And I understand that's a lot of artillery to deal with, but just rush it in. It takes a while. Our fat boys are built for taking out structures, not necessarily experimentals. In large amounts, yes, but you know, there's only, you know, there's some targeting this way, some targeting this way, some targeting like in all directions. They're not primarily focused on one side or the other. So again, you just got to be aware that even though it does look scary, all those rounds coming in, it's not each round. It's not a lot of damage. It just really isn't. Strap bombers coming in overhead. What are they going to target? Bombs impacting the shields. They crack 2 of the shields, but they are taken out by the SAMs and those ASFs. Are there more in tow? There is a megalith finished as well back there, so more and more experimentals being used. Those fat boys are pushing forward. That's not a good idea, especially with and that monkey load as well, because that megalith will get there pretty soon and be able to take out those fat boys. We have again that squad of experimentals down here. The megalith does go down, but the 3 monkey lords focus fire on the Galactic Colossus, and it's going to go down. So that last defensive unit, that Colossus, is down. There aren't any more that have been built. There's another monkey lord about to come online. T1 artillery starts to flood the main north side. The north side. Would like to see those artillery focus down the P-gens, but again, any damage is better than no damage. These monkey lords could, I guess the PD is kind of strong here, to be fair. Megaliths sitting pretty much outside of the shield. Fat boys start to notice it, start to primary it. The T1 torque bombers aren't going to do a whole lot. I mean, they may be against these Rascons, but not against these monkey lords, excuse me. They both start with M. There's another megalith out from Purifier. There's another megalith out from Freedom. So all the megaliths. I'm interested to see why they didn't build bugs. Why a Scathis wasn't built. Why, I mean, it's just, there's another Washer in the background. There is a Scathis being built, but I don't think that's really going to matter at this point. Team 2 is definitely on the back foot. Transfer of control of those artillery goes to Shuri. And I just think this is going to just be the nail in the coffin. We have 3 monkey lords for Team 2. One of them goes down. They're prioritizing the defenses, and they take out the comm of Shuri. He says, oh darn, leaving just Maresco to defend by his lonesome, making this a 2v1 in favor of Team 1. Maresco looks like he's going out to the front lines to meet his fate. That megalith on the north side does go down. Another the monkey lord of Maresco does survive. That was originally Shuri's. The fact that Maresco is still not dead after everything that's happened is pretty crazy. This is the last time I play FAF, last midnight. Not just yours. Help, GG people. They're like, MSG's like, please, just end it, please. And there is a desync at the very end, but obviously we was going in one direction. The Washer is coming overhead, lands that bomb, takes out the nuke. Another megalith, another megalith. Arms being built, taking out the rest of those defenses. That bomb gonna land on top of that artillery, takes him out, does a decent amount of damage to that comm of Maresco. I'm assuming that Washer does have that comm in sight. That is what he's gonna target the rest of the artillery. Maresco looks like he's gonna go down to that AoE damage. Oh, the bomb impacts the shields. That's very disappointing for that experimental bomber. Megalith being attacked by a monkey lord. That bomber coming in, taking out some defenses. Takes out a huge chunk of defenses for Maresco. Maresco lost his last artillery. He's facing down a megalith. Will he kill it before he dies? He does. A bomber comes overhead, gonna land on top of that megalith, and the comm of Maresco goes down. And that is the game, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate everybody watching to the end of the cast. Again, thank you again so very much for all of your eyeballs, your time, your attention, comments, likes, subs, everything. Thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next one.